We're going to start standing. Come on up to standing as you're ready. We're going to do some like big movements to start. Take your feet wide apart. Turn your toes to point straight ahead and your heels to point straight back. And take your hands to your hips. Okay. If you can, close your eyes here for a moment. If that is not working for you, of course, keep your eyes open. I just wanted this kind of bigger take up space to start stance. I think we've got a lot coming at us in the week ahead. Take in a couple of breaths. Stand tall, stand wide. Take the arms out to your side. Big chest opener, maybe even look up a little bit, whether eyes are open or closed. Just kind of turn your head, your chin up a bit. And then release the arms down by your side. Yeah, love that. Okay, and lean over. Feel free to bend your knees, especially because it's the first forward fold of class, but try to give your head a little room to shake. Release, release. Let it be. Maybe hold on to the elbows, hang pretty low here. Let out a few deep exhales or sighs. Okay, and then come back up to standing. Stretch your arms out one more time, big full reach. Now eyes fully open, take the arms overhead. Hold on to one wrist and lean over a little bit to one side. Cross the center over to the second side. Yep, and back into the middle. And then bring the feet in. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Okay, have a seat. Sit cross-legged or sit back on your heels. Let your arms be palms down along your legs. Again, return eye gaze low or with eyes closed. And bring all of your awareness to your breath. Imagine your torso like a big container. It is a container after all. And with every inhale, fill up the container from the very base of the jar all the way up. And on the exhale, let it all go. Visualize that a few times. Fill up completely. It's got to go somewhere. Let it go. One more time. Full deep inhale. And complete exhale. Nod the chin down to your chest. Roll the right ear over towards your right shoulder. And then walk the opposite hand out, fingertips just off to the side. And bring the hands back to your thighs, chin to the chest. Left ear over to the left. And then walk the right fingertips out to the side. Just a little more stretch there. And bring it all in, chin back down to the chest. Lift the head, open the eyes. Good. Take your hands straight out in front of you like stop sign. And then fingertips all the way down to the base of your wrist and kind of flex your hand back. And then you're going to switch. Do the other hand, and you are trying to take fingertips all the way down to the base of the wrist so you're covering as much of your hand as possible. So rather than just slipping on your fingers, go all the way down to the base of your palm. And then just shake out. Shake it out. Come on over to all fours. Set up hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath our hips. And then cat and cow. Pull the chest forward, eyes up, tailbone up. And then exhale, press down through the hands and knees, round the back and drop the head like cat pose. Just back and forth, start to go with the breath. Create as much change, as much space as possible. Kind of going with that theme of taking up and creating space in the practice today. All right, let's get into downward facing dog. And as you do down dog, walk your feet as wide as your sticky mat. A little wider apart and then a little further back. So again, nice long, wide dog, taking up a lot of space on your yoga mat. Lift up your heels so you're standing on tips of your toes. And then bend your knees a lot. Press your hips up and back. Make your arms as straight as they'll go so you feel a really deep lengthening and stretch from the hands, the shoulders through the length of the spine up to the hips. And then add the legs in. Straighten the legs. Think thighs back, heels down. Big, big stretch. And lower the knees down, do child's pose. Let the hips sit back towards the heels. Walk both hands over to the right side. And keep walking until you get a good long stretch on the left side of the body. So from the left hand towards the left hip. And then walk the hands across the center and on over to the second side. Notice how you feel. Know that you know these stretches, and they always bring us benefit. And then come back to the middle, back through all fours to downward facing dog. Again, a longer, wider dog. Let's just take that every single time today. And look forward to your hands and bring your right foot all the way up for your low lunge. So it might be a step, a few steps. Get it there. Right foot forward, low lunge. Right knee over the line of our ankle, fingertips in line with the toes. Lift your hips high enough that you can make your back leg pretty straight here. Tone the quad muscles. And then stretch the right arm up to the sky. Twisted lunge. And take the right hand back down. Step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Let's find our way to the second side. Step the left foot forward all the way up. Good. Square off the hips. Feel the strength in the lower half of the body here to ground you. And then let's add the twist. Left hand up. Lower the left hand down. Again, step all the way back to downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the yoga mat. Keep your toes tucked and sit back on your heels. So toes tucked, back on our heels. Interlace your hands, flip your palms and push. Push straight up towards the sky. Push through your thumb, your first finger. Belly tends to go forward with a big arch in the low back. Try to bring it in a little bit to balance out and find strength and length. And then release. Here, change to a standing forward fold. So you bring the knees off the ground, keep the head, the upper body hanging over. And again, heel toe the feet a little wider, like almost as wide as your sticky mat. And hold on to your elbows and do that ragdoll pose again. Sway a little bit from side to side. Try to just hang. Outside of keeping yourself standing, do as little as possible in this pose. Just let yourself hang. And then ever so slowly roll all the way up to standing. Roll the shoulders up and back a couple of times. Roll the shoulders forward and down a couple of times. Okay, let's take a walk to the front of our yoga mat. A couple of half sun salutations first, and then we'll add on. So inhale, lift the arms up. And then exhale, bend the knees to forward fold. You can keep the chin lifted the whole time for ease here. Inhale, half lift. Hands go to thighs or the shins. And then fold back over, but then we stand back up. Inhale, lift up. So it's just half. Bring the palms back to the center. Okay, if you like this, inhale, lift. Big, full. Exhale, fold over. Place hands to shins or thighs and extend for half lift. Forward fold. If you have the space beside you, take the arms all the way up. And then exhale, lower them down. I tend to just take my arms forward and back, especially if I'm thinking about myself in a yoga class, because I never want to encroach on anyone's space. Today we're trying to be as big as we can. So let's do it a couple more times. Inhale, lift up. And like you're diving, exhale all the way over. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, fold. Reverse that dive. Inhale, stand up. Arms out to the side if you have the space. And then exhale down. Cool. One more time like this. Inhale. Exhale. Dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, arms out and up. And exhale, arms out and down. Good. Let's add in the bottom half. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank now, that upper half of our push-up. Spread the fingers wide. Stay here at the top of plank. Try to push your weight into the horseshoe of your hand, the thumb up to the first finger. And the feet can be wider, they don't have to be together. Squeeze in the glutes, lengthen the tailbone, tone the belly, look a little forward past the hands. Strong, powerful, you've got this. Lie flat down onto your yoga mat. Like you're flying, lift everything that you can up. And lower it down and change to that downward facing dog with the feet wider, a little longer today on the mat. Look to your hands, make your way forward. It can be a walk or a step. Half lift, forward fold, stand up, arms all the way out and up, and then arms out and down. Love it. Let's do it again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down to the ground. Half lift. Step back to plank. Lower flat down against the yoga mat. Fly, lift everything that you can. Again, downward facing dog. Lift up and back. Look to your hands and make your way forward. Come halfway up, all the way down. Stand up, arms out to the side and up to the sky. And exhale, arms to the side and down. Okay. We'll add on a little bit. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Now this time, keep the right foot forward and step your left foot back into your lunge. And then come upright. Arms can be to the waist or all the way to the sky. Take your left arm straight out in front of you. Look to your right, add the twist so your right hand goes behind you. And then bring both arms back overhead as you untwist. And set the hands down to the inside of your right foot. Spin the left heel flat against the ground. And come all the way back up, warrior two. Sort of spin open to the side. That container that we were breathing into before, from the pelvis all the way out to the crown of the head, let it all shift to focus to the side. And be as big and full as possible for a couple of breaths. Nicely done. Place the hands back down, then lift the back heel, and step back to plank. Lower down to the mat. Now arms out in front of you, so we're even bigger. Like an X, lift up. And lower everything down, change to downward facing dog. And now step the left foot forward and come up. Hands to the waist, find your balance. And then take the arms up to the sky. So now we're on the second side. Bring the right hand forward. As you take the left hand behind you, start to twist and look to your left. Nicely done. Both arms back up, torso forward. And place both hands to the inside of your foot. Spin the back heel flat against the ground. So heel to heel alignment. And you can use your legs to help you stand up. Extend the arms. Again, container fully turned to the side. I'm not trying to look over the front hand right now. Just all open, all free. And then lower the hands back down. Pick up the back heel. Pause, breathe for a moment. Give yourself the space, the time, and then step back to plank. This time, knees down, press back to child's pose. Take the hands like a pillow and rest the forehead into the hands. If you would like to be higher in your body, you could also have the elbows on the ground, forearms off of the ground. I'm doing that now and just kind of resting the forehead into the fist. Either way, be okay with doing a little bit less here. We can take up as much space as important to take the rest and to do a little less. And then change back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift your right leg up into the air. Get it as high as you can. Lift, lift, lift. And then change to a lunge. Pull the knee into the chest. Step, step, step forward until you're in your low lunge. We've already been here. Let's come back upright. Lift the arms again to the sky. And this time, bend the elbows. Think of this like cactus arms. Sometimes we call it goddess arms. And as if your elbows are trying to squeeze in, squeeze the shoulder blades closer to one another. And then keep that action of the shoulder blades squeezing in, but can you actually extend the elbows back out? The shoulder blades are still trying to squeeze to the center as the elbows extend back out in either direction. Like holding secure and strong to the root of you while extending out. And arms down. Step the left foot forward. And then just change sides. Step the right foot back. And come upright. Again, start with the arms up to the sky. And then like cactus, goalpost, goddess arms, however you wish to call it. Bend at the elbows. And again, imagine everything squeezing into the center. So like the elbows at first feel as though they're drawing in. And then you keep the shoulder blades drawing in, but extend the elbows back out. It's little subtle changes that can make a big difference. Take another breath. Now, hands back down, either side of the front foot. Now your left foot needs to go all the way up and back, three-legged dog. Lift, lift, lift. And then set it down. Bend your knees enough to walk your hands back to your feet. And then hands to the hips, point the elbows to the sky. Push down into your feet and come all the way up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. We'll of course keep breathing, but we'll move along with our poses. Stand on just your left leg and do tree pose. Place your right foot in tree pose. And take it up as high as you'd like, as low as you'd like. Just try to skip your knee so that we don't put pressure on the joint. And this one needs to be big too. Arms sweep out and up like a really wide V today. Big, big, big. Hold on to it. Stay with it. You've got this. Nicely done. Release the arms, release the leg. Let's try the second side. Stand on the right foot, push down, and then take your left foot. And sweep the arms. Breathe with your pose. If you stumble a little bit, no big deal. We've got time to find it again. And then lower the arms and lower the leg. Let's go back to a wide stance. So stand on your mat so that you can take your feet wide apart. Good. We started this way. We're going to do it again. Arms out to the side. Just lift your chest. And then take your hands behind you, so they interlace behind your back. Bend at the elbows. Squeeze the elbows in. Instead of keeping the palms apart, try to push them together. If that's too much, they stay apart. If it works, squeeze them in, squeeze the elbows, keep squeezing the elbows in so it comes to the center, but now you extend to straighter arms and keep lifting the chest. Okay, which pose makes you feel bigger? Is it standing upright, or do you want to take it forward and down? If you're forward and down, don't let the head of your shoulder roll forward and down. Keep trying to lift it up. That'll keep the expanse of the pose. And stand all the way back up if you're forward. Extend the arms out by your side. Nicely done. Turn the right toes out. Lean as far as you can to your right side. So we shift this container of our torso way over to the right, and then triangle pose. Right hand down, left arm up. Look where you want to look. Where does it feel best to look? Breathe into the space. Fill it up with your breath. And stand all the way back up. And then switch your feet to the second side. Yeah. Lean as far as you can to the left side now. Take the left hand down, right arm up to the sky. So for me, some days I feel a little tighter, and to get that bottom hand all the way to the floor, I would have to bend the left knee, and then my pose starts to shrink and be smaller. Try to keep the legs straight, and that bottom hand can be higher on your shin so that you can still stay fully wide, expansive, really big in the pose today. That's what we're going for. And come all the way back up. Again, feet parallel to one another, and then take the hands straight down and forward so that your hands are under the line of your shoulders. Move around if you need a little more space to do this. Bend your knees a little bit and push your weight back into the legs. So lean back into the legs a little bit. And we'll do that with the knees bent so that the load is fully in the legs, and I find it a little easier to create a bigger twist. So right hand out to the side, keeping the hips pretty square. Then take the right hand up towards the sky. See how much movement you can get in the torso. And then lower that right hand down. Just for the sake of comparison, try making your legs straighter, which usually ends up more weight in the toes so that that's safer. And then take the right hand out to the side and notice if your twist is the same. Not that one is better than the other one, but I get it locked in much faster. And I get about 3/4 of the twist with straight legs versus bent. Come back in, reload the legs, meaning bend the knees, weight back more in the heels. Take the left arm out to the side. Excuse me. And then that big giant twist. Even with the hips staying pretty square, can it go bigger? Nice long levers of the hands to help. And then lower the left hand, straighten the legs more. Weight a little more loaded in the toes there so that it's still a safe stretch through the back of the legs. And take the left arm up again. Notice the change. A little, a lot. Take it in. And then left hand goes back down. As you rebend the knees, take the elbows to your knees and then just kind of lean side to side in the shoulders. No wrong way to do this. You can come up to the hands and lean in a little bit more. And then we'll stand all the way back up. Heel toe the feet in. Shake it all out. Good. Let's come back to the front end of the mat. Lift the arms all the way up to the sky. Big full reach. And then exhale, expand over and down. Half lift. Keep the right foot forward, step the left foot back. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. And then palms together and twist. Left elbow above or set all the way to the outside of the right thigh. As best we can, push the top hand into the bottom hand and point the right elbow straight up towards the sky. For a little more grounding and balance, you could take the left knee down, whichever makes you feel secure and building in this pose. And then we untwist. Lift the back knee off of the ground if it was down. And we'll switch sides. Maybe even try a jump. See what happens. Left foot forward, right foot back. Just a little something to surprise ourselves from time to time. Hands up to the front thigh. Okay, palms together. Add the twist, right elbow hovers above. That's harder on the strengthening aspect in the core. You can set the elbow all the way to the outside of the thigh. Everyone keep pressing the hands together and point the left elbow as much as you can up towards the sky. Again, back knee can go down for more stability and let us still feel that big twist. Okay, let's untwist, set the hands down, step back to plank. Remember, hands pretty wide, feet pretty wide on the mat today. And then lower all the way flat down against the mat. Lift for cobra, big pull up in the chest. Full downward facing dog. Lift the hips all the way up and back. Take a round again through three-legged dog. So right leg goes up into the air. And step it all the way forward to your low lunge. Let's see warrior two again. Spin the back heel down. Bring your torso up and extend the arms out in either direction. Reverse warrior. Turn the palms up. Lift the right hand as high as we can. Lean back a little bit. Pressure onto the left leg is okay. Side angle pose, elbow to the knee. Turn left hand palm down overhead, reach. Maybe even a little twist in the torso, look up to the sky. Come back to warrior two. Cartwheel the hands all the way back down. Step back, downward facing dog. Left leg up into the air, three-legged dog, big reach. And step it all the way forward to your low lunge. Warrior two, spin the back heel down, come upright. And then turn the palms and lift the left hand high, lean a little bit back. Your back hand could go to your shin or to your thigh. And then left elbow to your knee. Take the right arm all the way up and over for side angle pose. Again, keep turning your chest to the side or even up to the sky here. We're going back up, warrior two. And then taking all the space and time back down, downward facing dog. Again, lower the knees and do that child's pose where we just rest back. I say do nothing because we're looking for a little more stillness and calm here. But of course we know there's a lot still going on. How can you make space and make peace with that? If you need to know how much more time, give yourself 4 more breaths here. And then come all the way upright in your torso. Knees together. Now we'll sit on flat feet rather than tucked toes like we did in the beginning. And interlace the hands and the palms up. Okay, release the hands. Let's take our feet out in front of us here. We've made our way down to the mat. Extend the legs, flex the feet, point the toes straight up, our knees straight up. Take the hands by your side. This is Dandasana, our staff pose. Again, one of those poses that calls us towards stillness. If best for your low back or hamstrings, try bending your knees so that you can stay upright in the torso here. Sort of commanding the space. Spread the toes to keep them active. And then reach your hands towards your feet, forward fold. Take all of that command into yourself. Forward fold here. Nice even rounding through the spine from the head, neck, shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back, down to the tailbone. Think of it all like an even curve of a rainbow. Bring your hands back to the line of your waist and lift your torso up. Take the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. So I like to sit in Baddha Konasana on the long side of the yoga mat and place the feet at one side and then my butt at the other side so that you've taken up the entire width of the yoga mat. So whether you want to turn your body or not doesn't matter, but think of that, like a little more space here between your heels and your pelvis, and then lean over. Once you lean over, I want you to try to relax here. Give your forehead a place to rest into your palms, maybe. If you have something nearby to like stack a yoga block or something between your feet and forehead, I see that a lot from folks. Feels kind of nice. Just as much as you can, give a little release into this pose. And slowly come on back up. As you come up, let's take our legs wide. Again, if you're using the long edge of the mat, think about sitting on the back end and pointing your heels up towards the top corners, something like that. Take the hands behind you. Push the hands down to lift yourself up, and can you expand just a little bit more? Just move the pelvis an inch even further forward. Okay. Flex the feet, toes up, knees up, just like when the legs were straight ahead. All of that stays with us. And let's take the arms out. Big propellers. Twist in one direction. And then across the center, twist the other way. And do that a few times, just back and forth. Keep it pretty slow. The arms just help me create a little more depth in the twist, a little more space, if you will. Go side to side a couple of times. And then stay towards the first side, whichever your first side is, and lean over to it. When you lean over, probably the opposite sit bone is going to come up, back off yourself just enough to give enough pressure back down. Not that they have to be totally even, but that you are working towards staying powerful on both sides of the legs. So this is not a relaxing stretch pose. We're still engaging the muscles here. Maybe reach the hands as far out as the foot. Just keep going with what your body is giving you right now. Thankful for all the reach, all the space. And then can you bring both hands to the inside of your foot? And then swing the free hand out and overhead. We're going to do that a couple of times so it can come out all the way up to the sky. We're just rotating the shoulder here. Full rotation in the joint. Out and up a few times. So you've got the stretch going on through the legs, hamstring, groin, and a big rotation through spine, shoulder, arm. One more time. Okay, keep the hand down. And walk both hands across your center. Center, 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 all the way over to the other side. Walk the hands so far over to the other side that they can go on either side of the leg. And again, if you're like super off balance, rise up a little bit. Push down through that opposite sit bone. Keep it mostly there as you fold over. Mostly there means not all the way, it's okay. Give up a little bit. And then again, walk both hands to the inside of your foot and start making that big sweep of the arm up towards the sky, overhead, out in front. No wrong way here. Just make sure it feels good in the shoulder, good in the body. Big circles though. Okay, and then both hands stay down and slowly walk both hands to the center. Center, center, center. Keep the hands as far out in front. Stay up on the hands or down on the forearms here. But take a little glance at your feet. Can you still flex the feet? Keep the legs strong and point the toes and the knees up towards the sky. And then walk the hands back in so that you lift your torso up. Hold on to the outside of your legs and pull them in. Take the feet about mat distance apart. Again, hands back behind you so you can kind of just lean back. And then like windshield wipers, the knees are going to go from side to side here. You can do this at your own pace. Maybe stay in one spot a little longer and then check it out to the other side, whatever feels nice. This always is a nice little counter stretch after those straddle stretches. Good. Okay, let's find our way so that we can lie down onto our back. Enough space that as you lie down, you can bring your knees into your chest. Give it a good squeeze. And then take up as much length as possible. Arms overhead, legs out in front. Big reach. Okay. If you can create enough space for yourself, arms out to your side so you're like a big T shape. And then lift your right leg up towards the sky. We're going to keep our hands here so the hands are not going to help with this. And circle your leg around and down. Leg comes up, out to the side, around and down. You can kind of cross the center as you pick the leg up. And then switch the direction of the circle. From the bottom, go out and around. Cross the center line as you come back down. Do about 3, 4 big circles, each direction. And then we'll lay the leg back down. Lift the left leg up, second side. And same thing. So I'm going out to the side, around and down first. Doesn't really matter. We just want to go in both directions, 3 or 4 big circles. The very first teacher that I did a yoga teacher training with was 75. She's a very petite woman. And we did a lot of this circular motion in the exercises. Go the opposite direction. And she always just had such a big, commanding force in the room, despite her size. I think of her often in creating bigness and space. All right. Take the arms overhead. Again, reach from fingertips down to the toes. And squeeze your knees into the chest. Happy baby. Hold on to the feet. Let the heels stretch out over the line of the knees. Maybe sway a little bit on your back still. And then take this into a twist. Arms back out to the T shape and lay both knees down to the right. You can look up or out to the side. Let's try it to the other side. Knees across the center. Lay them down. And as you bring the knees back into the middle, what else do you need here? Is there any last posture? Maybe a little figure 4 stretch, anything that would feel helpful to complete this movement practice. Add that in here. If you're like, I've got it all done, go right to Shavasana. And I would just challenge you in Shavasana today. Stretch out wide like a big star. So that even here, you are in your space. Held just for you. Take a mental walk through the entire body. Release and relax each nook and cranny. And then when you are ready, stretch out one more time as tall as you can from fingertips down to the toes. From there, change to a seated position. Roll over, sit on up. Turn the palms up along the thighs, sit as tall as you can. I hope here you feel easeful, confident, and can take that into the rest of this week. Grab the palms together, thumbs to the sternum, and bow in full gratitude to yourself, for each other, and for this practice. Namaste. Thank you.